What's up, everybody? Danielson back. I am here today to do a review on a house that I've never done before. It is an American niche house and they are called Habibi. And this actually is a fragrance called Desert Oud. And one of the reasons I'm doing this, besides I love this fragrance, is because one of my really good friends on Facebook, Al Cochran, and in YouTube land, his name is Joe Cochran, was kind enough to send me this. Not necessarily for a review, but just to be gracious and, you know, just to do it, just to be doing it. So I want to thank you, Al or Joe, for sending me this. I really appreciate that. Before I get on with my thoughts, let me give you some information about this. This is called Desert Oud from Habibi. Actually, Habibi means my beloved in Arabic. This is a eau de parfum. The perfumer is Dominique Boulet. Top notes: citrus, peach, clove, pink pepper, green leaves. Heart notes are jasmine, rose, lily of the valley, tuberose. Base notes are oud, benzoin, labdanum, amber, gaiac wood, musk, and patchouli. Now, let me tell you what I think about this. I've been wearing this for 2 days now. I have the dry down on this arm. And I'll tell you what the opening is. Good sprayer on some of these, men. Some of these little decant sample sprayers, man, some of these things work better than like the full bottle that you get from the house itself. Some of these things are really cool. Alright, let me tell you what I think in the opening. Whew. Boy, that's strong. Strong in a good way. First thing I want to tell y'all is, I want to let this settle down for just a second. I got my notes off the Habibi website, the house website itself. And I've said this in another 1 or 2 reviews that I've done, that I always get my notes, if possible, from the house itself, because even though I absolutely love Fragrantica and base notes, sometimes their notes are incorrect. Sometimes they list or post the wrong notes, or their notes aren't 100% all the time of what is actually in here. So just be cautious about that. If you're like looking at a fragrance and you want to find out what the notes are, try to go to the website itself instead of Fragrantica and base notes, because sometimes they are inaccurate, just a little bit, sometimes a lot, and not all the time, but just every once in a while I'll catch them and they're completely wrong about notes. But anyway, and I also want to start doing something else too. I'll always give the list of notes, but I'm going to start describing the fragrances that I do in accords instead of worrying about the notes so much. But in the opening, boy, that's nice. That's nice and strong. I get a blue, and what I mean by that is, I sort of described that in another review that I done. When I smell a fragrance, I sort of like, I feel or think a color. Stephen from Redolescence, he's seen one of my comments about me commenting about that, and he got it. He says he is exactly the same way. Sometimes when he smells fragrances, he'll feel a color, and I know that doesn't make a lot of sense to people, but that's just how I am. That's how I experience a fragrance sometimes, is I sense a feel a color. and the color that I feel when I smell this in the opening is blue. Um, and I'm not talking about an aquatic. There's one of my favorite flowers called freesia, and that has, when I smell that, I get a blue vibe or a blue feeling from that because it's floral and it's really fresh and very clean. And that's sort of what I mean by blue in this case anyway. But I get a little bit of spicy, I get a little bit of blue. There's an odd fragrance in here, and I think it might be coming from the tuberose. It's sort of like a strange floral. It's hard to explain. But it's sort of like an off floral in a way. It's sort of a weird kind of floral. And that mixed with the freesia, the fresh, clean floral, and then you get that peach and clove in the opening also. That's a very, very unique opening to me. It's like a combination of things. It's sort of a funky floral. It's sort of a fresh and clean floral. You got a little bit of fruity in there from the peach, and you got a little bit of spicy in there from the clove. Very, very interesting opening. I like this. I like this a lot. And another thing about this fragrance is I can smell whether a fragrance is really good quality, sort of mediocre quality, or very poor quality. And what I've experienced from this fragrance the last 2 days is this is one of the highest quality fragrances that I've ever put my nose on. In any category. This is niche, and the last couple of months I have got my nose on quite a few high-end niche fragrances, and I think this actually might be the best quality niche or any category fragrance that I have experienced so far. The quality of this is excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, I'm still getting what I just explained. I'm still getting that sort of a dirty floral, a clean, fresh, soapy floral. I'm getting that a little bit of peach in the background. I'm getting the spices. And it's going to stay that way, at least on me, for about 30 minutes. And then after about 30 minutes, that accord still stays there, but there's something else that comes in, and it's a little bit animalic to me. And I think it might be that musk, and I think it might be a combination of that musk and tuberose. But it gives a little bit of animalic vibe in this after about the 30-minute mark, and there's a little bit of incense in there also, even though there is no incense in here. But I think a combination of notes creates an accord that you smell, just like that animalic might be musk and tuberose, and that incense. I'm not sure. It might be oud and patchouli and gaiac wood and the labdanum that makes the incense smell. I'm not really sure, but in the mid I get that a little bit of animalic, not in a bad way but in a good way. Animalic, I do not like animalic, but this is sort of not a bad animalic to me, and I get that incense in there, but that opening still carries into that. Now in the dry down, I still get a hint of all that stuff, everything in there, but it's a little bit more smooth and resinous, and I believe it's from that amber. And I don't really get any patchouli, but I think it's from that amber that gives it sort of a smooth resinous in the dry down. But overall, the quality of this is one of the best that I've ever smelled. And I think if I had to rate this on uniqueness, I've never smelled anything like this, especially with that peach in the opening, the peach and the clove, and then the animalic and the incense and the dry down, and just all the notes that make up all the accords that I smell. I think this actually is probably in my top 3 most unique fragrances that I've ever smelled. And as far as the oud, I do pick up a little bit of oud. I think that's another thing in the dry down that I get that sort of gives it sort of a smooth, woody resinous. But just overall, man, this is so unique. If I had to rate this on uniqueness, just uniqueness, it would probably be like between 9 and 10. Let's just say 9.5, because I've never smelled anything like this before. I love the opening. I think I might like the opening better than the mid and the dry down, because I like that combination of the dirty floral and the clean floral and that blue that I get, and the clove gives it that little bit of spicy. I think I like the opening better than any part of this, but the whole thing, the whole life of the fragrance is outstanding to me. I love the uniqueness of this. I've never smelled anything like this. So, man, Al, I'm excited about this. I feel like getting a full bottle, but I might have to wait a while because I've spent too much money. But anyway, as far as the price, actually, the price on this might sound a lot to a lot of people, but to me personally, the quality of this, I don't think it's that bad of a price. I actually think it's a good price, because I've smelled a lot of fragrances that are a lot more expensive than this that aren't half as good. You can only get this off the Habibi website, which I'll put down a link in the description. It is $75 for a 50 ml, which is a lot for, a lot of people. It's a lot for me personally, but do I think it's worth it? Yes, I do. I give this a huge thumbs up for all different kinds of reasons, for the quality and for the uniqueness and for the performance, which I'm getting ready to talk about the performance and all that. But overall, man, it's just an excellent, excellent, excellent scent. I love this fragrance. I wish I had a full bottle, but I'm just going to have to, I got to concentrate on my bills right now. But I do actually think it's worth $75 for a 50 ml by far. Performance is outstanding on this also. Last night I wore this while I was in bed taking notes, and I was just like going through Facebook and YouTube and looking up fragrances and stuff, and this was like 3 hours before I even laid down to go to sleep, and I woke up like probably 6 or 7 hours later, and I could still smell this. So I know that this is getting at least 9 hours longevity, and the projection on this last night and today is a good 3.5, 4 hours. I mean, really good projection. It projects like several yards. So the performance is outstanding. This is unisex. It does have masculine aspects and it does have feminine aspects. It doesn't lean either way towards me. It's like right down the middle, right down unisex, so anybody can wear this. As far as age, I don't know. It's up to you if you want to wear this or not. But I think the opening is, I think younger people would appreciate it in the mid and the dry down. I think a lot of mature people might appreciate the mid and the dry down more than the opening. I'm not really sure. It depends on the person. But as far as the seasons, I think this is extremely versatile. I think any season would be excellent for this. I'm not sure how overpowering or cloying it would be in the really high heat, but I think it would do just fine. I think it's strong enough to be good in the wintertime too, because this stuff is powerful. When I first sprayed this, man, a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I was like, whoo, man, it was just like, it was fuming off of me. So this is strong enough to wear in the wintertime, and I think good enough to wear in the summertime and fall and spring. But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about this, and there has been a couple of other reviewers that's done reviews on this, but yeah, I highly recommend this. If you like unique fragrances and you're getting tired of all the Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel and, you know, all the top 40 stuff that all the reviewers are doing, if you want something unique and different, man, I would suggest this. And they Habibi has a discovery set too. They have samples that you can get in a set. So I think that's like, I think their whole website is like, they have a big sale. I think you can get like 6 of these. This is a 2 fluid ounce, I think. You can get 6 of these for like $10 or something. So I would really suggest getting samples first, and then if you like one or like all of them, you can just get whatever ones you want. But anyway, that's it for my review. I'm getting ready to do another review today because it's my day off, and it's going to be completely different. This is high-end niche, and this is $10 Walmart, which actually is pretty damn good. Don't laugh about that unless you've actually tried this. Don't say anything about it unless you've actually tried it. Actually pretty good stuff. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, love you guys. Bye.